Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy, and well, recently, as everybody knows, last month, Tommy Robinson basically got banned from Facebook and Instagram, and now we have activists on the left and in the BBC and in other institutions across the UK trying to ban him from Google and YouTube. And I'd like to just offer my thoughts about it and some interesting stuff that you guys might like to know about the particular video that everybody is citing. We all know really why he's being banned. He's not being banned because he hates Muslims, which, by the way, he doesn't hate Muslims. He hates the ideology, but he doesn't hate the people. Like, he's made that very clear. And ex-Muslims, by the way, who have said far worse things about Islam than even he has, like Jajabor the Revolution, for example, Mufasil Islam, his name is, he said far worse things than Tommy has ever said, in my opinion. From what I've seen, I watch Jajabor and some ex-Muslims more than I do Tommy. They say far worse things because they lived and breathed that death cult. And even they say the same thing. They don't hate the Muslims. Well, firstly, they're related to them, or they have other ties with these people. And also, it's just, they're still human beings at the end of the day, and they've just been brainwashed by this horrible religion, or at least horrible versions of it, if you want to be charitable. That's literally what he believes. He just wants to criticise the ideology and how we deal with it in our society. That's why they're getting rid of him. And the fact that we see elements of the BBC, like that Mohammed Shafiq, who is literally, if you actually look into who he is and who he represents, the Ramadan Institute or organisation, whatever they're called, he's literally a taqi undercover jihadist. That's what he is. That guy whose name escapes me, who Dankula just interviewed as of recording, he did a video, and Majid Nawaz, mad lad as he is, posted, he's a Muslim still, by the way, he posted a Muhammad and Jesus cartoon. Mohammed Shafiq is literally inciting people to kill him. Now, he doesn't make it obvious because he uses Urdu words to mask it, but essentially what the translation is that he's somebody who defiled the Prophet or something like that. I'm paraphrasing it horribly, but essentially it is a phrase that is a code word, it's a dog whistle for Islamists to go out and kill. So Majid Nawaz, not only is he kind of a marked target already for leaving the extremist elements of Islam and those terrorist groups he was a part of in his youth, but he's idolised the Prophet, so now he's definitely on the list. And of course, in the video, which I'll discuss now, Tommy Robinson discusses Andy Burnham, who has links with some Muslim organisation, I forgot their name, who also have links with Islamist organisations, and they are apologists. And this is a guy who claims he's going to sort Manchester's issue out. This was, by the way, just after the terrorist attacks in Manchester City Centre, which wasn't far from my house. I can walk it there very easily in 10 minutes, by the way. Now, he was in an area of Manchester where he filmed this Rebel Media video, and for those of you who may not know, I've told a few people on live streams and in personal conversations. I don't remember exactly when I said it, but he was in an area called Old Trafford, specifically a place where this mosque is. I forgot the name of the street, sadly, even though I used to live near there, I know. But it's been a while, it's nearly 10 years. So, basically, this area, Old Trafford, home to Manchester United and brilliant history, it's actually not that bad an area. It has horrible areas, has good areas. It's any area you could possibly imagine. And basically, in this particular pocket of Old Trafford, this mosque bred 16 jihadi fighters for Islam. Basically, that's what it did. And all he did was call that out. He's just making everything known. It's places like that mosque, even though it wasn't the mosque that the particular bomber went to, it's still a similar type of mosque that is breeding fighters. And I'm not sure, I might have mentioned this before, maybe even made a video on it, but there was 2 jihadi fighters who were reported, who were from Manchester, from Old Trafford, who I may have gone to school with, if the name is the name that I'm linking it to. One was killed, one is missing in action. They could well have gone to that mosque, because remember, they're from my area. That is my home. I no longer live there, but that is my home. These are my roots. That's my area. And the problem with his video is, he's not from there. I am from there. I lived there almost all my life. 14 years I lived there, from age 0 to my early teens. I walked those streets. I knew some of the people there. I went to school there before high school, because there is no high school there. What he got wrong was not the fact that there weren't combatants in the houses. There obviously are some. The problem is, that area is not a Muslim area. The mosque is there, but it's not, strictly speaking, a Muslim area. It's actually a very mixed area. There are parts of Old Trafford that, yeah, there's Muslims who live here, there's West Indians who live here, there's white people who live here. But most of Old Trafford's not like that, actually. It's actually very intermixed. Lots of mixed race people, lots of whites, blacks, Indians, Pakistanis living together, mass hysteria, to quote Ghostbusters. And nobody really seems to have any issues with each other. There's gangs there, obviously, but there's gangs of all stripes. And they don't bother you if you don't bother them, essentially. And that's with everybody in that area. You don't bother me, I don't bother you, essentially. So even though he wasn't wrong, he was still kind of wrong. And unfortunately for him, because he doesn't know the area, because he's getting worked up and hyped, because he's not scripted that video, obviously, but he's doing very well nonetheless, he's using very combative language. And the sad fact of the matter is, it doesn't describe most of the people who live in that area, unfortunately. Most of them are actually not Muslim. They all seem to kind of congregate there. They live scattered around, really. If memory serves, it's probably different now, though. But when I was around, which wasn't that long ago, it was a lot more mixed than he makes out, which is not his fault. He doesn't know that. And what's worrying to me is that nobody's doing anything about it. Not even the people who aren't Muslim there, or even the Muslims. Well, I don't blame the Muslims who do want to speak out but can't. I mean, God knows, they could get killed. I don't blame them at all, but I would love it if they did. But it is what it is, guys. But really, there isn't really much to say other than he didn't do anything wrong. He kind of got a few things wrong about the area, apart from, obviously, the statistic. And if he was a bit more clued in... See, I wish I'd actually gone and met him, because I could have told him. Like, I still remember that area at the back of my hand. I could tell him, like, walk down this road. There's no real community there. Down here, that's where they all live. That's where they all live. Like, if he knew more about what the area actually is like, he maybe would not have used those words, and he probably would still be on Facebook and Instagram. But hindsight's 2020, isn't it, guys? And that's the thing. They got him because he used the wrong type of language. Because I've always had this vibe, and I think me and Omegan have said this once in a few live streams. It's not that what he says is wrong, but it's like he's really bad at optics. And I'm not saying he's stupid, but he obviously isn't that smart, otherwise he wouldn't be making such rhetorical mistakes. But that is stuff that you can learn, because again, he's not stupid, he's just, I don't know, naive's not the right word. Uninformed isn't the word either. It's just, I don't know, untrained? I don't know. You guys can tell me a word, I don't know. But basically, he needs to be more polished. He needs to choose his words more carefully, because, you know, he's working class like me. We don't mince our words when we talk about these things. But luckily for me, I have a university degree. I've been trained to just at least write rhetorically a bit better. Well, he hasn't. I don't think he has that kind of education. So I'm lucky that I actually do have that. He doesn't. So I can choose my words carefully, though I tend not to, because it isn't natural to me. Yeah, eventually he'll learn it, I think. Especially now, he kind of has to. And sadly, that means talking like a politician. So, yeah. But anyway, that's all I've got to say on the matter. I think the censorship is wrong. I think it speaks volumes about where we're heading as a country, where these people are now infiltrating our esteemed institutions and influencing it in ways that are frightening. And I ain't saying we need to go full Stalin, but something's got to happen. Something's got to be done about these people, because they're a negative influence. And unfortunately for us, it's Popper's paradox, isn't it? But that's for us to work out. So anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.